So hello everybody, welcome to the final pre-talk. There will be one more video of the results. You know, you're not going to see who wins this one. But yeah, semi-finals happened. Finals tomorrow. It's a big day. I must say, it feels weird when we having three things to talk about. We have semi-final 1, semi-final 2, final. Normally I sit down, I'm like, okay, I got to go through about 8 quarterfinals, the 4 semi-final, you know what I mean? Like, no, we're down to thingy. Yeah, we're down to not that many left now. It's been great. I feel sad it's over, and you won't hear this today, but you know, there might be a round 2 happening, a sequel maybe at some point down the line, some point in July. But yeah, let's get straight on with it. Let's just go straight to it. Let's get this done with. So semi-final 1, we had Jaden versus Christopher. We had Jaden, who chose Sorry to Bother You, and Chris, who chose Thelma and Louise. Now I chose Thelma and Louise to go for first. I went to watch that one first, and I really liked it. It was a very good movie. I don't think it's a true story, but like, it's one of those stories that it could be a true story. Like, there's nothing like outrageous that happens, but with that being said, it's a very good story, and it's acted very well. It's, you know, paced very well, structured well, very likable movie. However, I might have liked that one a little bit more if my co-worker didn't ruin the end for me. So, you know, earmuffs if you haven't watched it and you don't know what happens, but I'm there at work, you know, about to open up, watching it as you know, when we're still shut, and my co-worker's like, "Oh, is that the one where those 2 women drive off the cliff?" And I'm like, "What? Like, what are you on about? Like, I haven't seen the movie. You just spoiled it for me." But so that's very annoying. That was very annoying. But I still loved it, and you know, I could have liked it a bit more, but I still loved it. I gave it a solid 4. Very good movie. The ending did still hit a little bit. It was still quite sad. And yeah, it's just shot very well. It's set in like a desert or whatever. So it's just a very nice movie. I liked it a lot. Following that though, we had Sorry to Bother You, which I'm really torn on whether I liked that or not. I did like it. But like, I saw it, and as soon as I finished it, I was like, I didn't like that. And then the more I thought about it, and when I wrote my review, I was thinking like, actually, you know what? I kind of did like this. I did. It was just very weird. I do have to be honest though. Result time, Jaden lost. Chris went through. Chris is in the final, and it sucks because Jaden was really good this whole tournament. And he definitely deserved to go through, but he didn't, and I feel bad. I haven't even told Jaden he's not in the final yet. I think he's just assumed he's won. I don't know. I just haven't mentioned it to him. But yeah, Jaden is out, and Chris went through. Sorry to Bother You, it's very good, a very funny movie. It's just, it wasn't as good as Thelma and Louise. They're both 4 stars though. I give them both a 4. Like, whichever one went through out of those would have really earned it. And there was a point where I really almost put Sorry to Bother You through, but then a day later I was like, you know what, I did prefer Thelma and Louise, and I did. Like, now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I did prefer that one. It was a tough decision. Semi-final 2 though was a little bit easier. We had Book Smart by Scott, and we had Jujutsu Kaisen by Oscar. Now both of those I really liked. We had Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, you know, I've seen a lot of animes recently. I'm a little bit gone off of them, but I did still like it. It was a very good one. You know, you have your standalone animes, like, you know, the Studio Ghibli's, Your Name, Whisker Away. That's literally just everything about the story is in 90 minutes. And then you have your other standalone ones, which, like, you can watch them standalone, but they're also connected to a series. And even if you can just watch it on its own, there is still other stuff that's going to happen after, right? It doesn't completely tie everything up. And that's not my reason I didn't put that one through, but out of all the ones that is not the completely standalone movies, it's one of the better ones I've seen. It really was. It was really good. The action is great. The stories was good. Characters I liked. It's just, I preferred Booksmart. Booksmart was about 2 girls who, on their final night of college, school, whatever, they go partying or whatever. It's a very typical, cliched plot, but it's different. It feels nice, and it was new, and I really liked it, especially because it was 2 women, not in like a feminist way, just that like it was different jokes. It felt different. If it was 2 boys doing that thing, I wouldn't have liked it. It would have just been it would have been American Pie. It would have been In Between Us. But when it was 2 women, it was just like different. I really enjoyed it. I really did. So yeah, the final is Christopher versus Scott. Now they both won for 2 movies. One that I've heard Chris's movie before. I've never heard of Scott's movie. I actually thought Scott went for a different one, if I'm honest with you. So Christopher went with, I don't know why I keep calling him Christopher. Chris has gone for True Romance. I've heard of that one. The only thing I know is this kind of like a crime romance, and Brad Pitt's in it. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. Like, not even like a little bit. Scott's one has gone for the Intouchables, not the Untouchables, because the Untouchable ones I've heard of. I've heard of Untouchables. I know it's like a French movie. It's really popular. Intouchables, the only thing I know is it's a comedy. And when I searched up, I saw a picture of like a guy wheelchair and another guy. That's it. That's literally the only things I know about it. I will say it's a very interesting final. We've gone for one which is more of like a, we've got one which is more of like a classic, like it's well known, and that's not against any rules or anything, but it's like it's a stone hard classic. It's one that's very loved. And then opposing that, we have a very like unique one, and I don't know which one I'm going to end up preferring. I think True Romance, it was really good, it could be a 9 easy, whereas I think Intouchables is a max of an 8, like a 4 out of 10, 4 out of 5. But I think the difference is Intouchables wouldn't really get less than a 3.5, if that makes sense. It's like it's guaranteed to be that mid-range, whereas True Romance could be, like a 3 out of 5, or it could be a 4 out of 5, or 4.5 out of 5. I know that doesn't make sense, but in my mind that does make sense. But you'll either get that or you don't get that. But yeah, basically, let me say with grades, right? Intouchables is guaranteed to be a C or a B, whereas True Romance is either going to be an A or an F. That's basically what I'm saying, in a way. It's a very interesting final. Whoever wins is a very deserving winner. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. But yeah, besides that, I will see you in the final. It's tomorrow. I don't know who's going to go first, or like which one I'm going to watch first. I don't have any predictions who's better. I don't know. I don't even have a person I want to win more. I like both players. They both picked very good movies. Scott, interestingly, has picked, like, I noticed this yesterday. He's picked, like, all of his movies were within the last 10 years, basically. Whereas all of Chris's movies were before, like, he hasn't picked one since 1995. It's like he picked a couple from the 70s, one from the 80s, one from the 90s. So it's two very different choices, and they've now collided. They both made their way through the ranks. But yeah, tomorrow is the day, and I will be back the day after to share my thoughts. Until then, though, I've been James. I'll see you next time. Bye.